Your time is running out. Please speak. If you are not speaking, then I would call the other member's name, Honorable Abdul.
The House of certain developments pertaining to deportation of Indians from the USA. Honorable members are aware that people-to-people exchanges constitute the bedrock of our deepening ties with the United States. Indeed, more than any other relationship, mobility and migration has had a key role to play in enhancing its quality. Sir, the House would also share the view of the government that it is in our collective interest to encourage legal mobility and discourage illegal movement. In fact, illegal mobility and migration has many other associated activities also of an illegal nature. Moreover, those of our citizens who have been inveigled into illegal movement themselves become prey to other crimes. They are trapped into both moving and working under inhumane conditions. Members are aware that unfortunately, there have even been fatalities in the course of such illegal migration. Those who have returned have also testified to their harrowing experiences. Mr. Chairman, sir, it is the obligation of all countries to take back their nationals if they are found to be living illegally abroad. This is naturally subject to an unambiguous verification of their nationality. This is not a policy applicable to any specific country, nor indeed one only practiced by India. It is a general accepted principle in international relations. Sir, honorable members would be aware that the process of deportation is not a new one. I repeat, not a new one, and has been ongoing for several years. I would like to share with the House details of deportation from the United States since 2009. Their numbers, years-wise, as available with our law enforcement authorities, is as follows. 2009, number of deportees, 734. 2010, 799. 2011, 597. 2012, 530. 2013, 515. 2014, 591. 2015, 708. 2016, 1303. 2017, 1024. 2018, 1180. 2019, 2042. 2020, 1889. 2021, 805. 2022, 862. 2023, 617. 2024, 1368. 2025, 104. Sir, deportations by the US are organized and executed by the Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE authorities. The standard operating procedure for deportation by aircraft used by ICE, that is effective from 2012. I repeat, that is effective from 2012, provides for the use of restraints. However, we have been informed by ICE that women and children are not restrained. Further, the needs of deportees, including during transit, related to food and other necessities, including possible medical emergencies, are attended to. During toilet breaks, deportees are temporarily unrestrained if needed in that regard. This is applicable to chartered civilian aircraft as well as military aircraft. There has been no change, I repeat, no change from past procedure for the flight undertaken by the US on 5 February 2025. Honorable Chairman, sir, we are, of course, engaging the US government to ensure that the returning deportees are not mistreated in any manner during the flight. At the same time, the House will appreciate that our focus should be on strong crackdown on the illegal migration industry, while taking steps to ease visas for the legitimate traveler. On the basis of information provided by returning deportees about the agents and others involved, law enforcement agencies will take necessary preventive and exemplary actions. I thank you.
1 second, 1 second, 1 second. Please take your seat. Honorable members, take your seat. Will you take your seat? The house has to be run on some rules. Your leaders are aware of it. Please take your seat. Your party has not given your name. Honorable members, under Rule 251, a statement may be made by a minister on a matter of public importance with the consent of the chairman, but no question shall be asked at the time of the statement is made. 1 second. Have some patience. Don't jump the gun. My permission was taken by the Honorable External Affairs Minister to make the statement today. There was a request from the leader of the opposition, and that was agreed by the Parliamentary Affairs Minister and leader of the House, that looking to the public sentiment and need for clarity, some brief interventions may be allowed. I examined the request that came from both sides, and I took the call that I'll be making a departure that will not graduate to a precedent, and I would urge the members whose names have come to me to make brief interventions up to 3 minutes. I call upon Shri Randeep Singh Surjewala. 3 minutes.
Thank you, Honorable Chairman, sir. The extent subject that has been raised by the Honorable Minister of External Affairs, we have to rise above the political considerations, and our heart aches. 140 crore people are aggrieved, and restrained people lost their self-confidence. 4 simple clarifications I seek from the Honorable External Affairs Minister. First is whether government is in the know that on 5th of February, 104 Indians were deported. They were restrained. There were chains on their hands and feet, and women included. 40-hour journey, 1 toilet break. In inhuman way, they were forcibly sent to India, and the government kept mum. Where the government is aware that 7,25,000 such Indians are there, where America is preparing to deport from their country. Whether it is the behavior against terrorists, or is it human, whether government would comment. And second, how many thousands of Indians are there now? We saw handcuffed and chained brothers, sisters, and children, but how many thousands are there out of 7,25,000, where in detention center the Americans have imprisoned them? What is their condition? Whether they have been given counselor access by you? Third clarification, whether this time around Trump government on Namaste Trump, 100 crore rupees spending, the government on this side understands that 7,25,000 Indians went there because 2 crore employment opportunities every year was promised. Neither livelihood was arranged nor good lifestyle arranged, and 1 acre land if they had to sell it, and they mortgaged their homes, and then they went there. What is government going to do about it? I'll close it after fourth clarification, sir. Only last clarification, sir. When a small country like Colombia and their president can make the US do things and can show them the right path, maltreating their citizens, why can't you do that to the US? Sir, sir, you made your point, please. One line, sir. One line, sir. With due regard, sir. Just one line. I made a departure.
Living in everybody's commitment.
Sir, I
So,
defer to everything.
Sir,
Sir, just one line
No,
and-
no. No. Sri Tiruchishwa, I will not. Please, take your seat. You have never done. For a change, obey the chair. Please, for a change. It will be the first of the kind from Sri Tiruchishwa. Please. Tiruchiji, nothing is going on record. Sri Tiruchi Sharma. Sri Tiruchishwa.
Thank you, Chairman, sir.
What is this? You are a senior man and still doing it. Can there be a more abuse
don't
of a
want
privilege
to-
extended?
Thank you, Chairman, sir. Sir, thank you very
Sri
much.
Tiruchishwa.
Sir, it is not
Sir,
pointing
it is
fingers
intervention.
at anyone.
The honorable member has misunderstood. It is intervention. Please go ahead. I said I allowed interventions. He can ask. Please go ahead.
Chairman, sir, I said it is not pointing fingers at anyone. Just we need some clarifications. We accept that what the External Affairs Minister told, that it is an ongoing process. The deportation of illegal migrants have been happening. But what we have heard now is that the way they have been sent is not in a proper manner. I would like to know whether Indian embassy has been contacted by the US government and have given information that this number of people are going to be deported. And in that case, what was the reaction? And what we hear through media is that these people were handcuffed, they were ill-treated, stranded for more than 14 hours, and it is totally inhuman that nobody will admit, whether the government or us or any human. So they are all Indians. First of all, the deportation should happen in a proper manner. Why it should be an Air Force flight where there will be less comforts, we know very well. And what steps our government has taken, if at all it has been informed, to deport them. How many women were there? How many children were there? And after they have reached India, whether the government has reached out to them to know their experience and have tried to address what has happened.
Thank you.
And if anything to be contacted to be with the US government, what are the plans you have? Thank you very much.
Sri Saket Gokhale.
Thank you very much, sir. So I very carefully listened to the Honorable Minister's statement. What baffles me is that the Minister seemed more focused on defending the US deportation policies than the interest of our own citizens. So one thing that stood out in the Honorable Minister's statement is that from the year 2016, the number of deportations of Indians have doubled. 2016, we know which government was in power, that government continues to still be in power. According to a survey by Pew Research Center, sir, 2011, there were 425,000 undocumented Indian migrants in the US. In 2021, that number's gone up by 70% to 725,000. Sir, the US is just one part of it. Prime Minister Modi personally requested the Russian President, Mr. Putin, but there are still Indians who are being forced to serve in the Russian army. They're dying on the borders of Ukraine. They've still not been repatriated to India despite PM Modi's request. I have some very, very pointed questions, so I'm going to keep it short. So as the first, we talk and we hear in this house almost every minister, every member when they speak from the treasury benches. We are the world's 5th largest economy. We are soon going to be 3rd largest. We are a Vishwaguru.
Ask this.
Sir, as a Vishwaguru, I'm asking through you, sir, as a Vishwaguru, are citizens being shackled in chains, their legs being shackled together, being handcuffed, when countries like Colombia, which don't even figure in the top 10, can send an aircraft and bring their citizens back with dignity? What stops our government from sending one aircraft? We don't have a shortage of it.
Thank you.
What stops? No, so I have just one. You said 3 minutes, sir. That's all I'm requesting. So why have we not been able to ensure a dignified and humane repatriation of our citizens is number one. And number two, sir, the Honorable Minister made a very important point about undocumented migrants facing a lot of risk. The migrants have gone to the US, have gone through the Darien Gap, through the northern border. Many of them have frozen and died on the northern border as well. So the question is, what process does the ministry have? Because clearly there's economic distress. They're running away from the country for search of better opportunities. What processes do we have? Be it Cambodia, Indians are trapped, made to work in call centers in the US. So how is the ministry, beyond protector of immigrants, which doesn't do much, how is the ministry ensuring that so many Indian citizens don't have to risk their lives to run away from a failing economy and go to other countries illegally, sir?
Thank you. Honorable members, before I call Sanjay Singh, I would urge you that comprehensively issues have been raised by Randeep Singh Surjewala, Tiruchi ji, and Saket also. Avoid repetition. Sri Sanjay Singh.
धन्यवाद मान
Thank you, sir. India is the largest democracy in the world. And Honorable Prime Minister, again and again, talks of relationship and ties with America and friendship also. With humility, I'd like to know from the Honorable External Affairs Minister that handcuffed, shackled feet, Randeep ji has said in an inhuman way they have been brought back. It has been stated, please, 1 second, please hear out the question. I'll urge the members.
He has already made that point.
आगे का तो सुन लीजिए
Please hear me out, sir. They were brought in this condition, sir. And afterwards, what happened? When they landed in India, you are not ready to accord dignity in the prisoners when they were transported from Haryana on our own land. What America did, well, we know. We are stating that on our soil, they were transported in prisoners van, and others have also posed question. Small countries are sending their planes, their own planes they are sending to fetch their citizens to their countries. Whether government of India has any plan in future that they will send their own planes, Operation Ganga you are talking of in Ukraine. So are you planning something to fetch your citizens from abroad? Last question, sir. 33 were from Gujarat, sir. Haryana was also involved. Punjab also, people were from. UP also, they were from. I want to ask you, sir, on your land, military aircraft from US came and you did not know about it. You did not try to ascertain also. You did not make any attempt that in one toilet, you please have some shame. And in one toilet was arranged. 104 people were brought back from US to India. Randeep Surjewala ji, in a focused manner, has asked.
1 second. Professor Manoj Kumar Jha, I expect from you
I will not
that
repeat.
you will add extra.
I
Because
assure
Honorable
you,
Minister
sir.
has taken note of what has already
I
been said.
assure you, sir. I'll not repeat any of the points mentioned by any of my colleagues.
Please go ahead.
My first query explanation from Honorable Minister, sir. It involves us all. The images were worrisome. And that's why you have made a suo moto statement. Because the images were worrisome, a couple of issues to seek from you. How much advance notice that the government of India received for this US deportation?
Yes.
And how many much more are in the pipeline? Number one. Number two, did the Indian embassy or the consulate provide any kind of legal or consulate service sought by them?
Yes.
Or if not at all, what was? What the government is doing about the agents and agencies which openly on their website claim that they'll make you reach your favored destination. And sir, before I conclude, my query is, sir, there might be illegal infiltrators or whatever for US For us, they are our genuine citizens. हमारे नागरिक हैं.
They are our citizens, and since they are our citizens,
Align with India's broader policy on protecting its citizens abroad. Will the Indian government raise this, particularly the inhuman aspect of it, which scares us all, intimidates us, at a multilateral platform or in a bilateral manner? Thank you very much, sir.
Dr. John Britas.
You, sir.
Dr. John Britas.
Sir, being a member
Only
of,
new points.
sir, being a member of a standing committee, that is MEA, please give me 3 minutes.
Sir, don't ask time, make only new suggestions.
Sir, only new. If it is old, please strike it off. Sir, is it not a fact that countries like Colombia, Mexico, Brazil,
Now, Dr. John Britas,
Question,
it is
sir.
fourth time you are reacting.
Questions,
It has
questions.
been said.
Sir, I am quoting, sir, I am quoting.
Please,
I will only
I
say,
appeal to you.
I will only say new things, sir. My
Professor
question,
Manoj Kumar Jha
My
came up with
question.
new points.
My
Come
co-
with new points.
my question, only new things, sir. Is it not a fact that New York Times reported that military planes have rarely been used in the past by the US deportation? First question. Second question, Honorable Minister listed about the deportations. In the past, all these deportations the minister referred to, were they undertaken in passenger aircrafts or in military aircrafts? Third, as per the unstarred question on 28/7/2022 on Rajya Sabha, is it not a fact that the minister had said that any violation of immigration laws is brought to our notice, our missions, post abroad, and seek consular access? In this case, were our missions alerted? Were the details provided to our mission? And the fourth question, sir, International Human Rights Convention, India is a signatory to UN human rights treaties. Is it a fact that it emphasizes humane treatment in deportation cases? And the fifth question, sir, the lack of data. As a member of the External Affairs Standing Committee, we have been agitated over the lack of data with regard to the Indians abroad. And the sixth point, sir, illegal agents. Will the government do something to ensure that illegal agencies are busted? Thank you, sir.
Honorable Minister, if you would like to respond.
Sir,
Honorable members, please bear with me. No. All right, Honorable Minister. No. One second. Professor Ram Gopal Yadav, unfortunately, there was no input from your side, and therefore I thought,
सर
no, that has been covered. One minute.
मैं
Professor sir,
माननीय
sir, I would like to know from the Honorable Minister.
to be in the same boat today.
मैं माननीय
Sir, I would like to know from the Honorable Minister that this deportation which has been carried out, whether you had any talk with the concerned authorities there regarding that. And secondly, the people who have been deported and earlier also, whether they own any property there, and if they have their property there, what arrangements you are doing to bring that back? Because in my knowledge, they have their property, and the people who are being deported, you should try to find out that how many of them own some property there and whether they will be allowed to take back that.
1 minute.
Only one point I'm raising, sir. As all our members raised, I am also concerned how they treated.
Sir, 1 point,
Well,
make the
okay,
point.
Sending our Indian people. First point, sir, I want to raise whether, sir, Trump has come over the president of India now. Our Indian origin, Lady Kamala Harris fought against her. She lost. I am fearing she's also Indian, also especially Tamil origin lady. I have so many Tamil people and Indian people are residing in America. Whether any revenge is going to take place in the way to treat our Indian people.
Thank you. Thank
whether
you.
she would, no, this is a serious
You
matter.
have raised the point.
Because our candidate Harris
Sandeep
has
Rai ji, you have raised the point.
contested,
You have
Trump
raised a
has
good
lost.
point. Okay.
Therefore, I want to know whether such kind of
Shri Santosh Kumar,
will come.
Shri Santosh Kumar.
I have two clarifications to seek. Number one, Trump will be in power for the coming 4 years. So how many more deportation we are expecting in the coming years? Number one. Number two, there are many households in the US.
One second, please.
There are many households in US where family members have different legal status. Some of them may be legal, some of them may be undocumented or migrants like that. So do we have any clear-cut data on this family? How many families are like this in US?
Thank you.
And what about the students of US?
Thank you. Shri Sanjay Raut, briefly, 1 minute.
सर हम ये
Sir, we understand that Donald Trump is a friend of our Prime Minister, but our Prime Minister is going to make a visit to US, and his tour has been fixed. And before his tour, the way people of our country, they have been deported, I wanted to know from the Honorable Minister that about 18,000 people they are sending back. Whether Modi ji, when he will be there in US, whether he will have any positive engagement about these 18,000 people with Trump administration.
Just one query. Sir, is it true that the US President Donald Trump has signed an executive order to cancel student visas for non-citizens participating in protests related to the Israel-Palestine conflict? Is this true that the United States of America, who calls themselves the sole custodian of human rights and democracy, is doing this for protesting? What is India's stand on this?
Thank you. Honorable Minister. No. Honorable Minister. No.
Thank you, sir.
I have given one party. No, sorry. Please. No. Honorable Minister.
Sir, a
No.
number of
No.
a number-
Honorable Minister.
Yes, sir.
Only Honorable Minister. Please
Sir,
go ahead.
a number of members raised issues which you pointed out were repetitive. So I will answer issue by issue.
Okay.
In some cases, it will reply to multiple members.
Okay.
So the first issue which was raised by Sir Mr. Surjewala, he said, do you know that 104 people were brought back yesterday? Of course we know. We were the people who verified the nationality. We were the people who gave the aircraft clearance for the flight to know. So yes, I know 104 people came back in 2014. I also know that 5 to 7 times that number came back in 2009, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So let us not make out as though this is something which is a new issue. This is an issue which was happening earlier. Second issue, sir. Many people ask me, where did we have consular access to these 104 or others who are in detention? In many cases, sir, consular access, embassy would like to have consular access to any Indian national, but that national has to request consular access. In many cases, they have not requested, so we were not aware. But in every case, we have obtained passport details, we have checked the verification, we have ensured that they are Indians, and we have had contacts to ensure that that is the case. Then, sir, there is the next issue. After their return, are we making an effort, which Honorable Member Tirchi Siva asked? Are we making an effort? Yes. In fact, that is why the authorities have been given instructions, and I would urge Honorable Member Sanjay Singh not to misrepresent that instruction. They have been given instruction to sit with every one of the returnees, find out how did they go to America, who was the agent, how did this illegal industry happen, how can we take precautions so that this does not continue. We have been very, very, I would say, sir, sympathetic and solicitous to the predicament of people going. So I do not want the House or the public to have a wrong understanding of how they were received. They have come through a very difficult experience. They were misled by agents. I will come to the action issue after this. Then the question, sir, I think one member raised saying, the numbers went up after 2016. Sir, I was very, very bureaucratically correct. I took a single
Sir,
source.
what is meant by bureaucratically correct?
So, which means I followed a bureaucratic database to ensure that I gave before the House a very, very similar comparable number from the same database.
So, sir, as a healthy practice, let everyone follow the bureaucratic practice.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Now, sir, what I what I do want to say, actually, if one looks at the Homeland Security data, sir, the Homeland Security, the American Homeland Security Department has a report about aliens removed by criminal status and country of nationality. For India, actually that number is
I'm
860.
shocked. I allowed indulgence. No, what is this? You are not listening to the Honorable Minister. No, I'm so sorry. Please. Honorable Minister,
Yes, sir.
I'll be careful next time.
Sir,
I'll be careful next time.
uh,
Take your seat.
sir, the
Honorable Minister.
Homeland Security Department data actually shows prior to 2014, their numbers, American numbers were actually close to 1,000. The numbers I have given, sir, as can be seen in the statement, are from the Bureau of Immigration. In many cases, possibly because if they were not issued emergency certificates, they may have been treated differently. Maybe they went to some other country. So I would say we should look at this in a overall manner rather than try to make clever points about which year was a little higher than which year. Then, sir, the issue came about military aircraft being sent. Now, some other members also raised, have military aircraft been sent before? The procedure, sir, is we have looked at deportations for the last 15 years. It is up to the authority of the Immigration Customs Authority to charter an aircraft. It could be a military aircraft, but whichever aircraft comes in, it is under the authority of the ICE. The procedure, whether it was a military aircraft, whether it was a chartered aircraft, was exactly the same. Then the issue came up, sir, was there advance notice given? So, the
Only what the minister says goes on record. Please go ahead.
Advance notice was given. The advance notice was given, and there was consular access done. We had checked all the procedures. Then, sir, the issue was raised, do they have property? We are not aware that they have property, but if they have anything, we will be responsive to that. We do not, sir, have data on illegal immigrants, and the issue about student visas being cancelled does not apply to immigrants. Thank you, sir.
Beautiful.
Shri, well, all we can say about the statement of the Honorable Minister is he has been very comprehensive and responded to all issues raised. Shri Abdul Wahab, 5 minutes, not present. Shri Ramji. Sanjeev, Acha, you are there? I missed you. Shri Sanjeev Arora will resume to make his address for next 3 minutes.
Sir,
3 minutes.
when my point was interrupted, I was at out-of-pocket expense, which I have already taken care of. And I have mentioned quite a bit that we are on a higher side as far as out-of-pocket expenses are concerned in our country. Now, sir, coming next on AIMS. There have been 23 new AIMS hospitals, but there is a shortage of faculty of 40%, almost 40% in these AIMS, and also non-faculty positions are around 30% less in AIMS. So my request is that if the budget is increased, we can afford to pay them more and get this get more professors, faculty and non-faculty positions for our hospitals. Sir, now coming to regulations on private hospitals. Sir, private hospitals charge arbitrarily across states for one reason, that there is no control over the charges being charged by them. Consumables and diagnostic tests overpriced due to lack of price standardization. Also, it is observed that even after setting ceiling prices in some cases, like stunts, knee replacements, the hospital charges are increased. So it comes to same. I'll give you an example, sir. I have bills. One is from a corporate hospital and one is from open market. From the open market, the same thing is available for 64 rupees, whereas the same is available in institutional hospital for more than 300 rupees. Because, sir, once you are admitted, you are a IPD patient. Now they may charge anything. There's no one to control. अब आप ये तो कह नहीं सकते कि मैं gloves.
And you cannot say that I will bring gloves from outside. You cannot say that I'll go outside for investigation. So the hospital will do that. And but there must be some control and
Some control regarding this. And sir, next ESI. Sir, at presently, under ESI, 21,000 rupees who get are covered. And this has been going for long. So my request to government, through you to government, is to increase this limit so that more and more workers are covered under ESI and they can get affordable health treatment. And now, sir, coming to professionals, we were just discussing medical education and our students going abroad. Sir, we have 109,000 UG seats in India, the undergraduate MBBS seats. Whereas PG, we have only 70,000, which means that after UG, most of the doctors who finish MBBS, they are going abroad because hardly you see these days MBBS doctors. Any doctor who is practicing has MD on them. So this brain drain somehow needs to be stopped. And we are already in shortage, even in AIMS hospital, where government can afford to pay doctors more, which I have brought up before. And also, sir, there needs to be a stricter law on unethical practices. Now, let me give you an example, sir. The cesarean cases, WHO has recommended that it should be 15%. No more than 15% on an average cesarean cases should be there. In our country, in some states, it's more than 50%, sir. So unethical practices should be stopped and commercial motives should be. And also, there needs to be some health insurance norms where GST point has already been brought, needs to be taken out of health insurance, because even compared to other countries, the percentage of people insured in our country are very minimal. Now, sir, before I end I would like to call upon the government to take the following steps: increase healthcare expenditure at least to 2.5% of GDP, if not 5%, which has been recommended by State Bank of India recently. Regulate private healthcare pricing, revise ESI wage ceilings, strengthen AIMS faculty and public health infrastructure, expand insurance coverage for vulnerable population and currently uninsured missing middle class, curb unethical medical practices.
माननीय
Thank
संजीव
you. Deputy
थैंक
Chair.
यू माननीय संजीव जी माननीय श्री अब्दुल वहाब जी
Thank you, sir. First of all, I rise to oppose this motion of thanks. There is a general sentiment here and abroad. This parliamentary democracy is getting diluted. And not just like before, I am here since 2004. It was not gradually, but now it is very in the high-speed mode. Our functions are in a parliament. An opposition delights is the democracy denied. That is the caption now, especially in India. It is nowadays hearing. I raise my serious concern and protest on behalf of my party, the way the government has formed joint parliamentary committee. They have not included me. That is one problem. Nobody from my party. But now I think it was better decision by the government. I am not there because whoever went all over India, nothing. All the opposition members, whatever they mentioned, it is in the waste basket. Nothing is considered. Only our chairman decided only for the members, those who are from the ruling party. They made some suggestions and
no comment on honorable chairman as per rules.
Excuse me? Yeah, this part of that. How many things discussed here? You are also here. So, and again, our foreign ministry is here, so that it's a very rare chance to get me. Next month or whenever June, the PM is going to America. February itself. Next, within one night, he is not listening to me. But anyway, I request our foreign minister just to give some, not instructions, some suggestions to PM to raise this issue what was here 1 hour before, 15 minutes before. There are so many other illegal immigrants there in, not only in America, but different places. They will, even in UAE, I feel, I am feared that they will also start using their, what you call helicopters or whatever it is. Even though it is only 3 minutes, there are 3 this one. And one thing I have to remind on the government is the Worship Act 1991. It is totally, it is not at all, it's a verdict from the Supreme Court. But the local courts, you see, judicial overriding on this act, Varanasi lower court in Gyanvapi Masjid and Allahabad court in Sambal Mosque is highly condemnable and questions the integrity of our judiciary. The recent claim and controversy over the Ajmer Dargah, which has a history of 600 plus years, should be called out loud and should be strictly punished. I urge the government, the judiciary to strengthen this act. And a lot of other things are also happening nowadays, especially in budget Kerala. Totally ignored. I can only hear one voice from our chairman's state Bihar. No single one word about Kerala. Forget about Kerala. What about Wayanad? The Prime Minister came there and assured the rehabilitation and all. So far in the budget or otherwise, nothing is granted. It is a grave concern for us. Our government, Kerala government, they are also suppressing the Keralites, and you also start suppressing the government. What we will do? They are not giving enough facilities. They are taken money from wherever, and the money what they got in exchequer is not spending. They are finding so many excuses. 700 crore project is there, but state government also, central government also, they are not coming to the Wayanad issue. Maybe because if it is Wayanad is Priyanka Gandhi's constituency, I don't know. This is happening in Kerala and in center. I urge the government not looking to the Kerala government, please allow some more money for the rehabilitation of the Wayanad or whatever we call that land perhaps. Thank you very much, sir. And I wish that this time you are not interfering in my speech. Thank you very much.
I never interfere. I only remind after
No.
completing your time.
You will start
Please,
from 4 minutes.
please. No.
Okay.
Never.
Okay. Thank you.
माननीय श्री बाबूराम निषाद, माननीय बाबू not present, माननीय श्री अमरपाल मौर्य, माननीय अमरपाल मौर्य,
धन्यवाद.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Chairman, sir. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak on the address of the Honorable President. I am grateful to you for the same. Sir, the Honorable President, in her address, had talked about people who are standing at the last in this country, and she said that the development is meaningful only when the last person in the row gets benefited by the government schemes. And the same sentiment was expressed by Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay ji in the concept of Antyodaya, and our government, Honorable Prime Minister's government, is fully resolved to implement it. When a person belonging to a poor family gets the opportunity to live in a dignified manner, they get a feeling of pride and self respect. And the Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji took a resolve in 2014 when he became the prime minister, and he started working on the schemes for the welfare of the poor people, and the Honorable President has highlighted the same in her address. I am a son of a poor farmer, and I have seen poverty from close quarters. I have not only seen it, but I have lived it. And when people belonging to the political field started implementing the welfare schemes for the poor people, they were ridiculed. Sir, when there was roof over the house of only one person's house, and when it would rain, a person would be barely able to save himself from the rains. We have seen such situation, and Honorable Modi ji has given such people pakka houses, and he was ridiculed. The poor people were ridiculed, and when these poor people got houses, they were not happy. When they got toilets, they were not happy. In my childhood, I used to hear, after the independence of the country, when there was the slogan of having the food, the cloth, and the house, we saw that people neither got food, nor the clothes, nor the houses. And we have seen an era in our country where people belonging to one family continued ruling the country. Whether such people had the right of sitting inside the parliament, and who gave them the right to ridicule the poor people of the country. They have always differentiated between the poor and rich people, and Kabirji has said that there is only one well, and people come from belonging to all castes and communities to draw water from this well. And who created this kind of a divide? It was done by those who came to power after independence, who were belonging to one particular family. They differentiated between the poor and rich, and Narendra Modi ji took resolve to do away with such a divide, and it is only the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi ji, who has done it. Ambedkar ji had said, while giving us the constitution on 26 November 1949, he said, I feel that any constitution, be it as great as it may be, if people who are implementing it, it cannot fructify. And the people who are implementing it should be good, they should have good intentions. And after the independence of the country, these people are taking the copies of the constitution across the country, but they are disrespecting the dignity of the constitution. The opposition parties have done it. Our Prime Minister Modi ji, our opposition party members were criticizing our culture, our tradition, and they said that whether the saints of the country will decide how the country will run. I would like to say that these people do not believe in the culture and heritage of the country. They are only there to malign the image of our country.
धन्यवाद मान्यवर
Thank you, sir, for giving me the opportunity to speak on the address given by the Honorable Prime President. And I would like to also thank our party leader, respected Mayawati ji. In the preamble of the Constitution, Baba Sahab talked about justice, equality, brotherhood, and on 26 November 1949, in a speech given in the Constituent Assembly, he said,
contradiction. In the politics, we will have the equality, and in social and economic life, we will have the inequality. In politics, we will be recognizing the principle of one man, one vote, and one vote and one value. In our social and economic life, we shall be reason of our social and economic structure continue to deny the principle of one man, one value. How long shall we continue to deny this life of contradiction? How long shall we continue to deny equality in our social and economic life? If we continue to deny it for long, we will do so only by putting our political democracy in peril. We must remove this contradiction at the earliest possible moment. इसके बावजूद भी
even after that, sir, we had so many governments in the country, but the ST, SC, so OBCs could not get full justice on economic and social backgrounds. And today, because of the rights that have been ensured by the Constituent Assembly, the people are a little powerful, but they are trying to do away with those rights also. And the Constituent gave them the right to have reservation in education and jobs, but in the government jobs, people are being hired on contractual basis, and no reservation is being followed in that. If the people of the country will not be able to get jobs, the country will not be able to progress. And we'll see that the same thing will happen as the illegal migrants are being sent back to country by America. And the earlier governments were not serious. No, neither this government is serious. 30% of the population of the country is living below the poverty line, and as per a government report, 14 lakh children are out of school in the country, and 7 lakh 84,000 such children belong to Uttar Pradesh, and many of the children are dropping out from the school, and they are not able to carry on with their studies. And the education of such poor people has not been made completely free. And Uttar Pradesh was the first state in the country where the education for poor children became completely free. And SC, ST, OBCs are not having the favor, and the government is not having strong willpower for their welfare, and they are being raped, they are being killed, and we can see such atrocities happening one or the other part of the country, and people do not even get justice. And there are powerful people, they have interference with the police, and they can pressurize the police to get the report in their favor. And if a person raises their voice against the atrocity, they are tried to make silent, and Anjana Herver, who faced sexual harassment, she raised her voice against it, and in 9 months, three of her family members were killed. And at last, this girl also had to lose her lives while struggling. And sir, I would like to say that such incidents are really a stigma for our country, and Baba Sahib's statue is being demolished in some parts of the country, and people are disrespecting it. I would like to make clear to such people that those who believe in Baba Sahib will ensure that nothing harmful happens to the constitution of the country and also to his statues. And we worship our constitution, and it is our sacred book. With these words, I would like to conclude my remarks. Thank you.
Sri Lahar Singh Siroya.
Sabhapati Mahoday.
Honorable Vice Chairman, sir, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak on the address of Honorable President. It is a matter of great pride that Srimati Draupadi Murmuji is our president. She is the symbol of the true spirit of democracy that is mentioned by our Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji on a continuous basis. It is a fact that she is a lady belonging to a very simple background, and she is at the topmost post of our country. It tells a lot about her. It tells about her intelligence, her dignity, her dignified attitude, and she has increased the dignity of the post that she adorned. Some people who belong to the elite background, who are there only to tamper with our democracy, they might say anything about our honorable president. They might be disrespecting her. They might be creating new idioms and phrases to disrespect her. I would like to say that her life is an example for the entire country, and it gives a hope to all the people of the country. Honorable President has talked about implementing the one nation, one election in her address, and she has told as to what progress is being made in this direction. And this is a great step that has been taken by the NDA government. I welcome it. It will not only save the time and the precious resources of the country, but it will also ensure continuous development, and we'll be able to focus more on it. I would like to add one thing to this noble thought, as Rajiv Shukla ji was also expressing his concerns. I would like to add to it. Our election process has become very expensive, and to do away with this huge expenditure to make it free of corruption, and to ensure that it does not have the stronghold of certain people, it is very, very important that certain points are considered seriously by the government. This is not something new. We have discussed it earlier also, and this is something that was not rejected ever before. It is very important that this has to be carried forward with great resolve, and it is a time when we should think about one nation, one election in this August House, and in the other house also. The members are well aware that the elections have become very expensive nowadays. I have not fought an election, but I have been associated with election process, so we know how the money is coming in the election process and how is it being spent.
This is something that everybody knows, but not everybody wants to acknowledge that. You will see that even in panchayat elections, in municipal corporation elections, lakhs of crores of rupees are spent, and in one MLA constituency, candidates have spent hundreds of crores of rupees. So in such a time, it has become a very serious threat to our democracy, and that will prevent honest people from entering public life. I think that it has been a dream of our Prime Minister that at least 1 lakh new people should be brought to politics. So if there is no state funding, there won't be any new people in politics, and one state, one nation, one election will allow honest people to enter politics. It will allow new people to enter politics, and therefore there has to be some restraint on spending. We may have made very stringent laws, but they have never been very effective. They have not been very effective in curbing the use of money power in elections. I'm not a very educated person. I'm not a big lawyer. I do not know much about public policy, but in this August House and outside the August House also, there are many people who can put light on these issues. I would like the government to constitute a committee on this, which can move this idea forward, and which will give us time-bound reports on this. And I hope all political parties will welcome this step, and this step will garner respect for us from other nations. Committees like Dinesh Goswami Committee, and in 1999 also there was a committee which was constituted. There may have been other committees also, but what is important is that all committees have given positive recommendations on this. When this idea was deliberated at the time, the amount that was spent on elections was not much, but now what is happening is that lakhs of crores of rupees are being spent, and we must have one nation, one election law in the country. And I hope that all political parties are going to support this, because all of them are concerned with this issue. With these words, I would like to thank you for having given me an opportunity to speak. Thank you. Dr. Dinesh Sharma. Dr. Dinesh Sharma. Not present. Srimati Jaya Bachchan ji.
राष्ट्रपति जी के
I would like to thank you for having given me an opportunity to participate in the discussion on motion of thanks to the President's address. First of all, the people who went to Mahakumbh and were not able to return, I would like to pay my tribute to them. Sir, the Honorable President in her address talked about women empowerment. That is a very good thing. And I feel proud that the first citizen of the country is a woman. The finance minister of the country is a woman. And there is a state which is very aware. The chief minister of that state is a woman. And a very senior member of this house is a senior leader of a national party, and all the women who are sitting here as representatives of people, I feel proud of them because they have reached there after a lot of struggle. But sir, what happens is that the kind of behavior that is done with all women is not the same. Yesterday, some women were, their identification was being checked by removing their burqa, by removing their veil. And this is what happened in Delhi yesterday. So those who were not wearing a wheel, there was no investigation. But if you are wearing burqa, it will be seen whether you are a woman or not. She has a right to speak. Please allow her to speak. In my family, where I was born, we are three sisters, and I'm the eldest one. And the family where I was married, there is no sister, but women are given equal respect, and because of that, I'm here. My first child is a daughter. My first grandchild is a girl, and therefore, I can understand, I feel it very good that the women who can take care, they are coming. All the women who are sitting here as MPs, on behalf of all of them, I would like to say a few things. If you agree to that, I'm not saying anything against you. I'm saying this because I treat you as myself. Some days back, there was a comment, you may be. It's not me.
We are. इस तरह की टिप
Such a comment, such a remark, making a comment on a woman is completely wrong. A woman may belong to any party, but I would like to quote two lines of Bachchan ji, and she used to always say, from on behalf of all the women MPs here, I would like to quote those two lines. Do not ask me when these lines were written, when these lines were quoted. We are not fond of becoming famous. We are not fond of becoming famous. All you men know us, that is enough for us. Thank you.
माननीय
Honorable Vice Chairman, sir. You have allowed me to speak on the motion of thanks on the President's address. I would like to express my gratitude to you for that. Through you, I would like to thank Honorable President for having made her address to the Parliament, and in her address, she has said, she has highlighted the pledge this country has taken to make the country a developed country. I would like to thank the Prime Minister for country, Narendra Modi ji, who has given the slogan about everybody's development with everybody's help. This slogan has been highlighted by the President in her address. This slogan is to connect all sections of the society, and that can be seen in what is happening in the country today. Honorable Vice Chairman, sir, in the President's address, what has emerged is that we are making our best efforts to alleviate poverty. We have heard of the slogan Garibi Hatao, but what the country saw was that they were not able to remove poverty. They in fact removed the poor people, and that is why Modi ji was given a chance to rule the country. I can say with pride that Modi ji has worked tirelessly for the poor people. He doesn't believe in slogans. He has proved this with the work that he has done, and I can say this with a lot of pride that 12 crore at 12 crore places toilets have been constructed. It is very sad that even 75 years after Indian independence, there were no toilets in the houses of poor people. This is a matter of self-respect, and our Prime Minister got 12 crore toilets constructed in the country. We talk of women empowerment. The poor people who used to cook food in their kitchens with firewood, and that caused a lot of problem to them. For those poor women in the entire country, for 10 crore women under Pradhanmantri Ujjwala scheme, free LPG connections were given. This was done by the Prime Minister of the country, and we are very fortunate that the Prime Minister of the country, Narendra Modi ji, since Corona period till date, 80 crore of people are being given free ration, free food grains. We know how many schemes are being run for the country. Jal Jeevan Mission has been launched, and all this has been done by the Prime Minister of the country. I belong to Northeast. You cannot even imagine that I belong to a very small state. After independence, this state has not seen any development, but I can say with a lot of pride that if Modi ji is there, it is possible. And Modi ji has done a lot for even this small state, and even the poor people have Paka houses. 4,50,000 people have been given free Paka houses. Honorable Vice Chancellor, today an honorable member was speaking about health issue. In healthcare, the Honorable Prime Minister has given a lot under Ayushman, 1,75,000 Ayushman Arogya Mandir have been established, and the elderly people in the country, the poor people in the country, they can have Ayushman cards, and through them they can have a health insurance of 5 lakh rupees, and they can get free treatment. And I would like to thank Honorable Prime Minister for that. And there is another very serious problem in the country, and that is TB. The Prime Minister of the country has given a slogan of TB-free India, and in the coming years, we will be able to see India which is free of tuberculosis, and this is what has been mentioned in the President's interest. Let me now talk about farmers. I see that at some places farmers are made fun of, but in the leadership of our Prime Minister, a lot of work has been done for farmers. Earlier, farmers used to agitate on roads, but today, in the leadership of Modi ji, farmers are working in their fields instead of coming and agitating on the roads, because farmers know that there is MSP, and they are going to get their remunerative prices. I have already stated that I hail from a small state of Tripura. The communists and Congress have ruled that state, and We know that there have been agitations, but today Tripura government have started procuring crops on MSPs, and Tripura is completely peaceful today, and it has shown the rest of the country how farming is done. Today, Kisan credit cards are being distributed. It is a maiden speech. Please listen to him. In the Kharif season, Modi ji has done a lot of development work in Tripura and in other states, and whatever farmers have to be given, Modi ji has done that. In the Northeast, lots of political parties have ruled, but they never cared for the northeastern states. But after Modi ji came to power, there has been a lot of development in northeastern states. I belong to Tripura. Congress and the Communist parties have ruled the Tripura, this state. I would like to thank Modi ji for having said that he would bring about a lot of development in Tripura, and there is air connectivity and there is railway connectivity in Tripura. It is because of Modi ji only. If Modi ji is there, everything is possible. And the biggest airport has been established in Tripura, and there was no broad gauge connectivity. After Modi ji came to power in 2014, after that, only in 2 years, broad gauge connectivity was given, and it was because Modi ji was there. There was only one lifeline. There was only National Highway, Assam Agartala National Highway, but many national highways have been constructed. We know that in northeastern states, Ashtalakshmi festival was celebrated in Delhi, and it was inaugurated by Modi ji. That has inspired us, and we are fortunate that all the northeastern states are being given a lot of importance, and these northeastern states are being recognized not only in India but by the entire world. I won't take much time. I come from tribal areas, but in tribal areas there was no development work, and I'm fortunate that after Modi ji became Prime Minister, there was a lot of development work that was done for tribal communities. Please conclude, Honorable Member. For the development of students, tribal universities have been created. 30 medical colleges have been set up in tribal areas, and in Mudra scheme, loans of 10 to 20 lakhs have been given to youngsters, and with a lot of pride I say that my mother tongue is Bangla, and
माननीय सदस्य कृपया
ধ্রুপদী
आपका
ভাষায়
भाषण
মর্যাদা যদি দিয়ে থাকে একমাত্র দেশের প্রধানমন্ত্রী নরেন্দ্র মোদী জি তাই সবকা দেশ का विकास होता
there has been a lot of development.